Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at this software over here, this tool called RSL Helper. I have done videos on this before, but the most common question for sure that I get is how to have this thing do champion training for you, how to have it swap food in and out, and how all those settings interact with each other in terms of getting it to go ahead and do that for you, so you don't have to sit here and do runs, swap food, sit here, do runs, swap food, how we can make RSL Helper work for us while we are doing champion training, because obviously we all know how common champion training events are in Raid, especially with how often they're going to be doing fragment events and fusion events in game now. They're doing them every month, sometimes every 3 weeks, so we're going to have to be doing a ton of these champion training events, so it's going to be a very powerful tool for you to do that more efficiently and have it be less of a headache. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, let's answer a couple super common questions. I do a video on RSL Helper every now and then, and I want to make sure and hit on the most common questions I always see in the comment section. First of all, will you be banned for using RSL Helper? As of right now, no. I am an official Plarium content creator. I use it on stream. They watch me use it. They know I use it. They watch my videos. All of us content creators openly use it, and we are in the official Plarium program using it right in front of them. Farbstoff, who is the developer of RSL Helper, talks with Plarium directly. So as of right now, no, you will not get in trouble for using RSL Helper, but if that ever changes, I will make sure I let you know immediately. Another question that comes up a lot is trusting the software. And look, I am not the developer. I cannot give you guarantees on what software you should or shouldn't put on your computer. Ultimately, that's your decision and your responsibility to look into the software decisions as to what is a good idea to put on your computer or not. And you shouldn't really listen to anybody to make that call. All I can tell you is I've been using the tool for about a year now. I know the person who develops it, and I personally trust it, but I'm not going to make that decision for you. I want you to look into all software that you install and decide for yourself. And then thirdly, another common question is going to be, is this able to be used on mobile? And no, it is not currently. With how RSL Helper functions and how it works with Raid is going to be a PC Windows feature only. So if you're on a mobile device only to play Raid, unfortunately, we can't really port the RSL Helper to that mobile device to help you out. And also, as of right now, it is not working with Macs. So if you have a Windows PC, then the RSL Helper is an option for you. But all right, now that we've got some of the FAQ and the common disclaimer type stuff to get out of the way, let's dive into the fun stuff, which is if you've decided to use RSL Helper, which, by the way, if you don't have it yet and you do want to look into it, I'm going to link to Farbstoff's Discord server down below, because the download link, sometimes it changes where you get it. I haven't installed it fresh for like 7 or 8 months, so definitely keep an eye on his Discord server, and I'll try to put a link down there to the download section of that Discord server so that you have access to the tool. If you're inclined to look into getting it on your computer, I'll have that down below. If you already have the tool and maybe you're just curious on how to make it work for you for champion training events, because that is that times 10, that's the question I get the most, is about champion training events and having it swap food for you. Like everybody knows how to go to a dungeon and click play and have it kind of go and run for you, but in terms of swapping food, is a video I want to be able to link to people, so that's what we're going to be discussing here. And the way it's going to be functioning is when you go to a campaign stage, it's going to look something like this, like you see right here. We are at the 12-6 Nightmare, and then all we have to do is click start on the bottom right to start playing. This is where you're going to select what food goes in there. So this is the screen you're going to be starting from, and this is what RSL Helper is going to look like, something like this. So what you want to do is make sure you've got multi-level XP checked. So if you've got everything blank, we check multi-level XP, and now you can see it unlocks my ability to click on set food. You can see there it goes from grayed out to now being something I can click on right there when I check multi-level XP. And then you also have auto sell artifacts. You definitely want to set those parameters under the sell options. You go in here and set this up to be how you want it to be in terms of being picky. For campaign runs, it's basically going to be selling everything. And then back in the main auto clicker tab, you also want to check auto refill if you want it to auto use energy refills you have in your inbox, or use gems to refill your energy. If you want it to do that for you, you would check that. If you don't don't, if you want to make those decisions for yourself, if you just want to run this a few runs or something, then do not check that and just click play, and it'll go until the energy runs out, and then it'll be up to you to kind of start it again and analyze how things are going. But if you do want it to fully be functional, you click on auto refill, auto sell artifacts, and multi-level XP. Then we're going to move on over to the set food tab, and we're going to click on that just directly to the right. And now it's going to give you a breakdown up top of your champions. You can see there, currently I have got 15 1 stars, 65 2 stars, 45 3 stars, etc. You know the drill. This is the champions that I have available to me for it to plug into the champion trainer and plug into the stage that I'm about to run. So what I like to do is set this as multiples of 3, and you also want to leave yourself enough to be able to rank up. So you can see here, I'm going to need 1 star for every 1 that I rank up. So that means each run is essentially 2. So I would divide this by 2. That means I could level up like 7 or 8, and then I would have enough to rank them up. Now for the 2 stars, I'm going to need 3. For every 1 that I level up, I'm going to need 2 to rank it up. So I would divide that by 3. 65 divided by 3. I could do about 21 of these and be just fine in terms of having enough left over to rank those up. So you want to keep that in mind as you're setting this up. So I would set up something like 7 right here to have enough to rank them up. And then divide that by 3. I would do something like 20 like that. So that's initially what you think it would look like. But the second thing to take note of is you probably want this left side to be multiples of 3. So now I would just make it whatever is closest to my desired result as a multiple of 3, because if you're solo farming, like 99% of you are going to be, you want a multiple of 3 because you're putting in 3 food champions every time. So what I would do is lower this to 6 to make that a multiple of 3. And then this one, I've got room to go up to 21 and still have enough to go ahead and rank them up, because 21 times 3 is going to be 63. And since I have 65 available, that will be just fine. So this is what you would do. You click out of that, and now when I hit play, it is going to play. But before you click play and let it run, it is worth noting that it is going to be swapping food in at the end of the run. It's not going to do it right here on this screen before we even start anything. It will run an empty run with nothing there, and then it will swap in food and start running. So if you're like right away, you want to go ahead and load it up. If you're doing 1 stars, you may want to adjust what food is in here, because if you're doing it on Nightmare with the bonuses live, you may hit max level in literally 1 run. But if you're only doing 2 stars, it's not going to matter. You just put it in and it will know to swap through as you're leveling up. But I want to show you this in action. So if I delete this, and then let's say I only do 3 of the 1 stars, and then you do have to put a 0 in here. So we put a 0 there. So I only wanted to max out 3 1 stars. Now, when I click play here, it's not going to put anything in. See, I'm running an empty run with my Herndig right here. It didn't add food to the start of the run. I need to start it, and then after that it'll be good. So what you're going to see happen right now is I'm going to finish this run on 12-6 Nightmare, and then it's going to sell the artifact that dropped. You can see the little icon spinning down there indicates that it is running and it is live right now. It is playing. It's going to sell the artifact, and then it's going to swap in the food. So right now it's going to do the artifact check. It obviously knows to sell it because it's a campaign run, and now is where the tool is going to start swapping in and doing things. And remember, I put it to only level up 3 1 stars. So what it's going to do now, it's going to finish this run, and then it's going to check for the artifact sell. It's going to hit that parameter, so it's going to sell the artifact, and then it is going to stop because I told it to only do 3 1 stars, which means as long as it functions according to plan, it is going to end and be finished after this run. And boom. Okay, so now it will still do the artifact check, and it will sell, and then it will stop. You see that the circle thing down here is not spinning. It has stopped running, and now the tool is finished. So what you want to do if you're going to be starting this officially properly is keep that in mind when you're on this edit team screen. It's not going to load it for you when you click play. It's going to load it at the end of the run. So what you can do is let's say I want to do a batch of 2 stars, okay? So I'll come over here, load up my 2 stars. Now I go into set food, and I want to do a multiple of 3 on my 2 stars. So I would set it up as something like 12. I want to level up 12 2 stars. Now I can back out, and now when I click play, it is going to use what I already had in there, And then when these hit level 20, it will swap in more 2-stars until I actually level them all up. And then until I hit the 12 2-stars leveled up, I made sure to do a multiple of 3. And then it will sell that last artifact and it will be done. So let me go ahead and fast forward so you can see that in action. Okay, so here we are heading into the last wave, and this is where these 2-stars will hit level 20, and it will be time for them to be swapped out. So now you will see it not only, it's still going to function properly, even though they're not 1-stars. It's going to sell the artifact. Now it's going to come back, and it's going to load up other 2-stars. You see, boom, boom, and boom. It loads up the next batch of 2-stars. And we're off and running. It will do the 12 2-stars I told it to level up. So it will basically do 4 batches of the 3 like this, and I will be off and running. But this can be a powerful tool to help you go ahead and just kind of set what you want it to do. And as long as you have the resources ready, you can go ahead and just let it run, and it will make your life a lot easier when it comes to champion training. Or you can just leave the auto refill unchecked and then go ahead and let yourself monitor what resources are being spent. So it's not just going to blast through everything you've got like it will on an auto refill. It'll spend your gems and your refills and all of that to run what you told it to run for the parameter. And also, if anything is ever like you feel like you misclicked or wait, I don't want to be on auto refill, you can click stop at any time and it will stop in the middle of the run. Now it will not keep going after this. It won't sell the artifact or anything. You have just stopped the tool. So it's not like once you hit play, it's over and it's going to do what you told it to do. You can stop it at any time. Obviously, just click the stop button. And now at the end of the run, it's done. It's not going to load any food. So if you are kind of leery about how you set things up, just go ahead and stop it and you are fine. So that mostly does it for wanting to tackle the most common question I get about RSL Helper in terms of how to use the food and take advantage of that system and kind of what that means. Because if you're new to RSL Helper, that does get a little bit intimidating on having it level food for you. I know when I first kind of started using the tool, I was kind of scared to dive into that. I was like, no, I'll just do the food myself. I'm not going to start messing with this food swapping stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and do it myself. So I totally get that and wanted to get a video out there kind of showing you how that functions. So you can see it's really not that bad. It is pretty easy to use. But also on the way out, I know that some of you are going to be curious maybe about the Herndog that I was using in the video. I do have a dedicated deep dive into this build and explaining my thought process and building the Herndog and having him as my Nightmare campaign farmer. He is a very good solo Nightmare farmer, and this will show you the gear that I have on, the masteries, and the stats that you're going to want to hit to make it work for you. But yeah, that does it for me on this one, and hopefully if you are using RSL Helper, then this will help you be able to take advantage of the food leveling process. And if you are not using RSL Helper, maybe it was an opportunity for you to see what is out there in terms of tools in the world that some PC gamers are using when it comes to helping them kind of take advantage of some help here in terms of managing their raid account. I know there was other things like OMG Click and other things kind of floating out in the community, but for me personally, RSL Helper is the one that I'm most familiar with and the one that I've used the most on my main account. So if you have any questions, let me know down below. I'll do my best to go through and answer, and you can also message me on Discord. Links to my Discord server and all that are down below. If you ever need any help, throw me a message or reach out, leave a YouTube comment, all that good stuff. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.